What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. So, I made a video yesterday that I felt that given the current course of situations, it's likely that Amber becomes the attention or the center of Girl World again. And it looks like it is happening, but it's not happening for the right reasons. So, if you're not aware, Amber put up a video. Comments are turned off. She's crying. She's at least portraying to be very upset. And she also put up a community post, and we'll cover the community post in just a moment. But all of this relates back to her new partner, Tommy, Emily, whatever you would like to call her. Now, while it's easy to understand that Amber wants to position this as rumors, the reality is we've seen the images, we've seen the posts, and we know that there is facts here. Okay, and the facts are this person was just with a partner that passed, that at least the optics of it appear to be in similar situations that Amber is. So when we look at this through the lens of Amber, I think we need to first understand that it's the internet. Okay. People are going to fabricate things, people are going to imagine things. There's going to be people that take that narrative and run with it and over exaggerate it. There's going to be people that take that narrative and apply it simplistically and just try to, in a good natured way, warn someone. I would suggest that, given everything, a majority of people in the community are simply asking Amber to heed warning about what's came out. Amber is unwilling to accept this information for anything other than a post like this. First, and this helps us understand her mindset when typing this. She says, there are multiple communities that watch my videos, but there's one in particular that likes to see me miserable. So they go to large lengths to do so. This is a very self serving comment. First and foremost, I won't disagree with Amber. There's a lot of people that watch her content, and there may be people that are more angered or more outraged or more frustrated by her. Maybe they want to have more personal of a connection to the content than anyone else does. Okay. But are they doing so in this situation for the sole purpose of making her miserable? I don't believe so. If we look at Amber's most recent track record, she's brought a lot of characters, as we'll call them, onto her channel. And she's tried to be very secretive about it while also trying to monetize and generate the most views. I mean, we went through an entire segment where all we really saw was someone's hand or foot. When she does that, she creates interest in these people, and naturally, people are going to want to learn more about them. And the only reason that really happens is because Amber doesn't allow those people to introduce themselves or bring themselves onto their channel in the proper fashion, in my opinion. Had her mother came out and said, hi, I'm Amber's mother. You've probably heard a lot of negative things about me, much of them from Amber herself. We're going to go ahead, rekindle our relationship. And oh, by the way, I'd like you to know that in the past, XYZ happened. And while I don't owe an explanation for those things to you, I will just offer that they happened. I've worked past them, and I look forward to showing you the person I am today as the person I was yesterday. When Amber doesn't do those things, she very clearly sees the result of what happens. The internet, as I said before, is going to internet. This is another one of those situations, but different in the approach that people have is Amber should have fear from what we've seen. She continues on. In the most recent events of my life, and I'm going to kind of bridge this, she shared something special, and by doing that, a lot of bad has happened simply because she wanted to share her happiness. Again, this is kind of a self serving statement. This is basically saying, look, I was finally happy in my life, and I was so happy and so proud I was willing to share it with you, but once I did, you ruined it. Again, it's a very self serving statement, and she's more than welcome to feel that way, but she's doing it through the lens of this community only seeks to make me miserable. And when you have that feeling, when that is your undertone in your life, then you're never going to objectively look at what's being presented to you and say, hey, wait a second, maybe there is more than just surface level. These people don't want to see me happy, and they're trying to destroy my life. She then carries on and does some things that I think everyone is going to agree with. She tries to rationalize the situation, and she tries to level things off with, look what's going on that's not fair. She does this by saying, my girlfriend's late partner had their information shown. That's not okay, more so when someone's passed. Completely agree. Completely agree. Then she says, I will never share the personal details, but the rumors being spread about her are not true. Certainly would agree as well. As I led this whole video with, there are things that people are likely over exaggerating. There are things that probably aren't even relative to what's happening in this situation. But none of that is the main concern of people. The main concern is the track history this person has, the people they've been with, and how recent one of them just passed. All the other things, to a lot of people, are just water off a duck's back. She continues on with, again, things that people are generally going to agree with. The doxing, the hate, the bullying, all way too much for her or the two of them. They don't deserve it. Again, I would agree. I would say that in many cases, if that's simply what it was, then she has a very, very strong case to build in this community post. But the reality is, that's not what's happening. A lot of people have looked at the situation from a perspective outside of Amber and her people just want to hate me and make me miserable and said, wait a second, what is the true intentions of this person and why have they entered her life all of a sudden? Just because Amber wants to sit there and say, this person makes their own money, they never asked me for anything, see, they're independent, they're attracted to me for me. Just because Amber has been told that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone is going to buy into that without looking at what's happened in the past. She then goes on to say, this has completely altered my life and now my girlfriend's life. Amber, one thing I want to stress to you is while I understand the perspective that you were saying, hey, this person could have been the one I was going to spend forever with, and now all of this has been brought upon us, and it's permanently altered our relationship. I agree that that more than likely is the case. What I would also say, though, is if you look at the situation in which you're living right now, the condition you keep your body, the condition you keep your health, the way that you continue to maintain, that is altering your life in a much more severe way, in a much more permanent way. And if you would take that same thought process and apply it to the way you handle your exercise or your medicines, your diets, the professionals that come into your life attempting to help you, then you would probably see better results in those areas as opposed to just the romantic interest that you bring in. She kind of closes us out by saying, I know this is going to land on deaf ears, but if you have a heart at all, leave my girlfriend and her prior partner out of it. Again, Amber, you introduced this person to the community. They weren't upfront with some of the things that have happened in their life. And now people, out of concern for you, understand they don't care about this person. They don't care about her at all. They look at her as a character on your channel. There's zero emotional investment. Many of these people's primary concern is you and what this person wants or is going to do. They can label her with whatever term they would like, but it doesn't change the fact that she has done a lot of things to create that label for herself. She, I would offer, has done more to create it for herself than not create it for herself. Amber then goes on to say, talk all you want about me, I don't care, but they do not deserve this. I would again close this out by saying people are not talking about her. People are talking about you. People are not concerned about her safety. They're concerned about your safety. People are not concerned about her being overly gullible and wanting something to be there that is not there to put themselves in a very, very dangerous position. And that essentially is the narrative so many people have pushed. Amber, this has nothing to do with people hating you. It has nothing to do with anything you've done in the past. It has nothing to do with any character you brought on. It specifically does have something to do with the person you are, the size that you are, and how you seem to constantly want to have a person in your life. In this case, the overwhelming majority of the community, which very often does not agree on things, is concerned for your safety in dealing with this person. It is only asking, not that you ruin your life, not that you change everything about your existence, but that you just perhaps do a little bit more due diligence in what this person's actual intentions are. You've salvaged a relationship with your mother, and that's fantastic. And I truly believe, in having watched a lot of the videos, your mother is interested in two things. Number one, being with her daughter, trying to make up for lost time. And number two, genuinely having a concern for her daughter even if it's not always apparent because it's still her child. I would have a very hard time believing if your mother saw the information that has been shown online, there is no way that she would not tell you to get this person out of your life as soon as possible. She would not be doing so for you to be miserable. She would not be doing so to ruin you. She would be doing so because she has a genuine fear about this individual. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. Be back soon as I can with more commentary.